Okay, so today we learn to do advanced PBR material in Touch Designer. Okay, and on Wednesday you're gonna learn about interactions with Patrick. Okay, so the schedule from this week is going to change. We officially finished the first module in Blender, and we move on to the second module of the course, which is about Visual Jockey in Touch Designer. All right. Now, what have you learned so far with Patrick? In Touch Designer, what kind of demo have you done? Particle. When did you learn it? 2 weeks ago? 1 week ago? Now, from this week, tomorrow I'm going to explain the assignment 3 and 4. And basically some storyboarding for Visual Jockey. But basically, as a group of 5, from this week, you have to start working on the assignment 3 and 4 already. At least group yourself and divide the tasks, as well as try to come up with a concept, because in week 10 you're going to have the presentations for assignment 3 as a group, and you're going to present basically I'm going to open up the assignment 3 over here. It's going to be on the Monday 29th of December, which is 3 weeks time. All right. After week 9, which is Christmas holiday, we're going to have the first sessions where you're going to present the work in progress. Basically, you need to present visual reference and a prototype for what you're going to do for the assignment 4. All right, and tomorrow I'm going to explain more in detail about the assignment description, as well as the preparations for assignment 3 and 4. All right. So by this week, okay, you should have your group already and start working as a group. Maybe you can set up a group chat already between all of you, so that you know how to contact each other. Okay, don't let the any members of your teams disappear when there's a deadline or anything. All right, my advice is to get their phone number. Okay, don't get Facebook or Zalo. Okay, get their phone numbers, call and try if it's working, because in the past I have students suddenly disappear before the assignment delivery. All right, so make sure you know who you're dealing with, and that's for tomorrow. Today we're going to go into the lab sessions of this week, where I'm going to explain PBR material from Substance and Blender to Touch Designer. All right, and we work with lighting and the camera viewport a little bit, and then I explain Mixamo, which is a tool for you to basically animate characters very quickly. All right, let you animate character very quickly. So you log in into Touch Designer, and we're going to start with the demo today. Okay, I'm going to delete all of this tops over here. And this one I'm going to save it as demo. Okay. Now, my task for the tab designer over here, even though I can teach the whole thing, is to cover the workflow from 3D to tab designer, so that in the next assignment you'll be able to import model that you made in Blender, you customize Blender with substance material into tab designer and use them for the process of VJ. Alright, so today I'm going to introduce to you how you can import material, external material from Substance as well as from Blender to tab designer. Alright, if you download this file over here and here, you'll be able to see this file, extract this zip file, okay, and you'll be taken to you're gonna see all this maps over here, which is very similar to the map produced by Substance Painter, right? Yes. All right. And just for your information, this page I already show you in week 2, okay? But you can also download the material from this page as well, and I'm going to explain how you can use it. Also, there's a resource on the derivative website where you can find information on the material that we are going to work with, which is PBR material or PBR matte. Alright, and on the page of RMIT Commons, there's a website, Common Cartridge. Okay, I'll fix the link later, but basically it's an explanation of what is PBR material. Alright, and today we're going to do a very simple task of rendering out a PBR material, setting up all the map in Tab Designer. Alright, so we're going to divide the screen into 3. Click on these buttons and divide them into 3. Okay, on the right side over here, we keep it as network editor. And over here, we're going to switch this one to panel. Okay, and this one, we're going to switch it to geometry viewer. Okay, so basically we have a preview, the render preview of the material, and here we're going to have the viewport, 3D viewport. Is that okay? Ổn không nhỉ? Yes or no? When the teacher say ổn không nhỉ? What you say? Ổn. Okay, this group is very low energy, eh? Now, we're going to drag and drop all the material maps over here. Okay, you can do that as well in Tab Designer when you work with texture files. Okay, and you move them, spread them out like this. Okay, so all the names are over here, so you can see it. Now, I'm gonna move this one a little bit to the side so the screen is easier to see. Okay, and I'm going to add a soft rectangle. Put it here. Okay, now what do I do to render out this soft, guys? How do I render this geometry out? from soft to top. Hello. How do I render this geometry so that I can export it to the out? Hello. Everyone smiling, making no contact. What is it now? The word of teacher has been returned to Patrick. Right? How do I render this geometry? You learned about rendering already, I know, because I watched the tutorial. How do you render a 3D geometry? What do you need to add? Camera, lines, what else? Geometry. Now, where do I find the geometry? Where do I find the geometry? Com. Okay. Okay. Geometry. Okay. And it give me a donut. How do I fix this? How can I render this one? And where is the inlet so I can plug this one to the geometry? Why is it giving me the donut? Yes, but where is the connection?
I just right click on the rectangle on the right side rectangle.
Okay, can do like that. Okay, now if you add the geometry over here and you see this default donut, don't be scared, because if you click inside, it's basically just a SOP over here, and you delete the SOP, and instead you're going to add in a in SOP. All right, and then you plug it to the out SOP over here. And remember to turn on the display as well as the render. Okay. And now you have the geo over here with the inlet and the outlet that is ready to be plugged. Alright. So move this one here and you have the rectangle. Or easier, you can have a geometry and then you hover the mouse in the middle of the rectangle over here or the out over here, and then you go straight to the comp and then geo. Alright, it's the same thing, but I'm explaining the reason why when you add a geo it gives you a torus or a donut. Okay, just go inside, delete that donut, give it an in SOP and then out SOP over here. Basically you opening up an inlet over here and outlet over here on the geo so that you can export it. Ổn không nhỉ? Ổn đúng không? Now, where's my rectangle? P for panel. P for Patrick. Double click, yes. Delete that one, yes. Double click. Delete, yeah. Add an in SOP and connect it to an out SOP. video 1. Go inside, double click, yes, you hit that one, in soft and out soft, yes. B for panel, P for Patrick, okay. Now, alright, so that's, and now how do I render? What do I miss over here to render out? The geometry. Hello. What do I need to render? What is the thing you need to put to render it out? Render top? Come on. Render is inside the top. Alright? And it's going to tell you no camera found. Okay? For the render now, I'm going to plug it to the R1 over here. Okay? Which is basically is going to display the geometry over here once we got the light and the camera setup. Okay, now normally speaking, when you want to render out, you're going to go for camera, right? It's available in the COM over here, camera. Alright, but today I'm going to introduce you something different. Okay, a shortcut. You're going into the palette over here, open palette, pay attention, this is new, eh? And then you go into camera viewport, okay, and drag and drop this to the network viewer, release, and basically it's giving you a camera, okay, but this is a special camera because if I open up the panel over here and I remove this, instead of render view, I add one dot over here. And then I'm going to add a light. To the COM. Okay, for the lights here to work, okay, you need to open up the light panels, and you're going to translate on the z-axis over here. By default it's going to be 10. Okay, you see nothing. Okay, you have to move it to 1. So in 3D view over here, you're going to see the line move closer to the objects, and hence you're going to see the illuminations better. Is that okay? Yeah? And then in the lights over here, the dimmer over here is the intensity of the light. By default it's going to be 1. So it's very dark, you're going to increase it to 10. Okay? Just for now. And then what you need to do next, okay, you go into drag and drop the camera viewport to the render and replace it to the camera. Alright, and now you're going to see the object appears on the right side over here. You need to drag and drop the camera viewport to the render and replace it to the camera over here. Ổn không nhỉ? Drag and drop, click on the camera viewport, drag it to the camera inside the render. Release. Okay. Or you can just type in camera viewport over here with the V capital. Okay. It's gonna take the same, basically it's just reference. Okay. And you see this little dot happening on the render over here. And now what is the nice thing about this is you can hover the mouse on the right side over here, which is the preview, and you'll be able to move the camera so you can rotate it. Okay, with the default camera settings you won't be able to do this. Okay. And then on the camera viewport, you have to remove this one, replace it with a dot. Yes, it's working. Yes. Yes. Now, you got it, right? You show her?
I show her.
You show her?
Yeah.
Oh. What a mysterious now. Camera viewport. Now, it doesn't work if you keep the panel on. When the view is, has to be not locked.
Áo. Phải có áo cho.
And then it gives you panel
Rồi, đợi. Nhìn ổng làm. Nhìn ổng làm mà nó to chứ rồi chắc là ổng làm luôn. Rồi mà nhìn
Oh, does you believe the master level? Don't do this. You. Now, you have to understand that. Not doesn't work. Yes. How you spoken? Work three. Doesn't work. Change this to dot dot. Delete dot dot. Dot dot. Drag and drop is not to the geo. Drag and drop is to the camera. You have to drag the camera viewport to the render. Yes, but you have
con lớp tới 2 giờ xong rồi nó chơi xong rồi về thầy về là tầm tối
Now.
yeah xong rồi
Now everyone. Okay, I do this one more time. Okay? Because nobody understand what you're doing. Okay? Now, you have a sub going in over here, and then basically it has to render in the geo over here. You can do it by right click over here and then go to geo right away. Doesn't need to delete in now or nothing. Okay? And then you're going to add a camera viewport, drag and drop it to the side over here. And open P, you have to set the panel com dot dot. Okay, it means that reference. Okay, the panel com over here, which means that it's going to reference to the hour over here. Alright, and then you click home on. Okay, so that it reset the shape to the default. Alright, and then you're going inside the, you're going to add a light over here. Make sure the dimmer is at 10, and then the translate over here, the z-axis is at 1, and you see all the objects align together like this on the 3D view. Okay, next step, you have to drag and drop this camera viewport. You drag, you click on it and you drag, you hover the mouse on this top over here, you'll be able to see it open on the right side, and you keep the mouse click, you're going to drag the name over here, camera viewport. Okay, and then make sure that it's not going to be an out, it's going to be R1, because, okay, I'm going to tell you, and you don't do it on the first level over here, which contain perform, projects and local. Okay, this level you don't mess with it, because basically this is the master level of the whole geometry, sorry, of the whole Touch Designer patch. Okay, and basically, okay, you don't match with that level. Okay, at the beginning you work with this level only. Don't press U to go up one level, because if you go up one level, you'll be taken to this level, and you double click on the project, you go back to this level. Okay, inside of this folder. Now check on your ends if you have done it. Those who haven't done it, raise your hand please. Only one. What about you? Two. Reset the camera view.
this in and out on the display and the window. Now, if you have the one common mistake over here, you need to turn on the inside of the geo over here. You're going to see in and out. You have to turn on always the button render and the display over here. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything happening on the screen. Okay, if you see the geo over here empty, go inside and turn on these two buttons. All right. And check if now you can use the left mouse button and rotate this object, and then you see the camera rotate around this object like this. The camera not showing, yeah. Dot, yes. Camera viewport, yes. It's not out high. It has to be R1. The name over here, if you don't have the name here correct, okay, R1, you won't be able to see it on the right side. Okay, now one more button. If you click on the camera viewport over here, you click on the tab keyboard, okay, you'll be able to turn on WASD key active. When you turn this button on, you can use the W to zoom in, the S to zoom out, okay, A to pan on the right, and D to pan on the right. Ồ đúng nhỉ? So it's easier for you to position the camera when you set up a scene, 3D scene in Touch Designer. Similar to Blender now. Okay. Why smiling? Huh? Turn on these buttons on the camera viewport. WASD active. Yes. And now you can use the keyboard. W to zoom in. Same version. With Can do? Zoom in and out. Zoom in and out with the keyboard. Zoom in and out. Yes. W zooming. Easier now. It's on. Oh, when have you been? Now, shortcut key over here, W is zoom in. S is zoom out. A left, D right, and H is home, meaning that it's going to reset the view to the default view. Okay, if I press H, yeah, easy for you. Take note, eh? Where's my pen? S zoom out, right? A left, B right, H home. Okay? Ồ đúng nha. Okay, now we're going to add PBR material. Alright. So on this object over here, Geo, now how to add a material to an object in Tab Designer. Where do I find material in Tab Designer? Where do I find material? Huh? Huh? Normal. Normal. What is the category in Tab Designer for material? Matte, yes. The name said it all. MAT. Matte. Okay, and click on PBR. Okay. What is PBR stand for? Huh? Physically based rendering. Alright. Okay, and then the next step is easy. You open up the PBR material over here, and then in the maps over here, you can drag and drop the base to the base color, the roughness to the roughness map. Okay, and polygon ambient occlusion over here, you put it to the ambient occlusions if you have it. Normal, where do I put it, guys? Hello? Normal, where do I put it? Huh? Normal to the normal. Nothing tricky, eh? I'm not asking a tricky question. Now, metallic, where do I put metallic? Metallic, yes. Displacement, where do I put it? Huh? Displacement. Displacement, you. No. Displacement. Displacement is equal to high map. Okay? It's just different name in different program. These two map is the same thing. Displacement or high map. That's why when you work with Blender, you remember we need to plug the high map into the displacement node in Blender, right? Remember that. Displacement and height is the same thing. Okay? So we turn on enable height map. Turn this one on. And then we drag this height map inside. Okay? And also, so now we're going to have the material over here. You can preview it over here, but it's very dark. Alright? It's very dark, but you see the level of details on the brick. Okay? Now, how do I set the material for this geometry? Wait, how do I set the material for the geometry? How do I set the material for the geometry? Yeah, just drag and drop it. Now, drag and drop the PBR to the geo. Release it. It's gonna ask you which is the parameter I want to drag it in. And I'm gonna set material. Okay? And it's gonna turn black because because of the lighting settings, I think. Gold light. It's black because over here, if you read the arrow over here, a map is a normal mapping, but the SOP being used with it does not have any tangent, this attribute. Okay? Now this is a common arrow in PBR material. Whenever you work with 3D geometry from SOP, you need to make it calculate the normal and the tangents. Alright? So basically, you tell the program, this is just, you tell the program which one is the direction of the face, okay, or the normal. Which one is the normal? Because otherwise doesn't know if it wants to apply the material in the front or in the back of the material. Alright? So before we plug the rectangle into this, we need to insert an operator. Okay? And you can either use attribute create. Okay, you click on it and you click on compute normal and compute tangents. It's going to make the texture appear. Hold on, yeah. And you see here the light is just too much, so we're going to dim it to 2. Okay, dim this light to 2. So that, and then zoom in, you're gonna see all this detail of the material. All right. Yes. You got what? You got problem in loss? Yes, that's why I'm here. After you add attribute create, you have to turn on compute normal and compute tangents. All right. Normal, I said over here, basically you tell the program which is the correct face it needs to render, because in geometry it has back face and front face. Alright, so you tell the program basically what is the face, what is the front face, and you need to render. Okay? Lights, turn on, limit to 2 only. Material, yeah. Yes. Too dark. You go into light, dimmer, and give it 2 or 3. See? Turn on the display for the rectangle here. So it's overlapping. Yeah. Turn on the render. I see the world. Can you see the world? Yes. And check the lightings as well. Okay. Okay, now in the material tab, I'm going to explain some extra functions. Alright, if you want to increase the normal, alright, inside of this material, you can go into the bump scale over here, and if you increase this, it's basically giving you more normal, more bumps into the material. This is before is at 1, and this is after. See this? Ồ đúng nhờ? Yes. Alright. And then, okay, because we have the high maps, okay, the high maps over here is different from the normal maps, because basically the high map here displays or is actually create real geometries to be able to so normally when I teach you Substance Painter, you used to use the normal map, right? Increase the value to 1, and then you can make a hole, not a hole but like a an engraving, okay, into the skin of the character or into the body of the characters. But the normal map over here is a fake method, because basically if you rotate on the geometry over here, you're gonna see that it's basically a flat geometry. It doesn't create real extrusions on the surface of the geometry, but it's basically faking the shadow, so it looks like there's some kind of engraving or intrusions or extrusion in the geometries. Does that make sense? You see this, okay? But with high map, it's a more intensive, hardware intensive, because basically with high maps, we need to create extra geometry, subdivide it, an object, so that when we apply the high maps, it create new geometries, okay? And it's making the geometry over here actually extrude, okay? So we're gonna do this. Now, before the, after the attribute is okay, we're going to insert operator, and we're going to subdivide, okay? And then we're going to increase this one, let's say 5, okay? And if I click on the subdivide over here, right click and toggle shaded wireframe, okay, you're gonna see that the number of mesh over here is much more than this. So this is level subdivide of 5, and this is 2, this is 3, okay? To be able to display it, you click on the viewer active, right click, and then toggle shaded wireframe. Ổn không nhỉ? Okay, I'm going to subdivide it by 5. Alright. And then on the geo over here, sorry, on the BBR, I'm going to click on displays vertices, and now you're gonna see it's creating all of these real geometries using the high maps over here. Ổn không nhỉ? Now you have all of this high map displaying. You see them moving around. Somebody is having a headache. Now, the reason why you need to subdivide is because the high map over here is working on real geometry. It's making everything extrude on real geometries. You have to click on the view active. Right click, and then you click on all its things. Because you have the newest version, right? It's yes. You increase too much, right? Up scale, display. You see? Wrong name. Wrong address. You don't find it, right? Press W. Okay? Press W for one frame, otherwise you go. Because this is new version. They changed the name. Shading mode, white frame. See? Or shaded. What's the problem? Well, you plug the wrong home app. Plug it to see the PVR with here. Open this. Ok. Ổn lắm nhỉ? Sâu hơn. Help your friend, eh? If you starting to see the brick become wavy, okay? It's not you, okay? It's the high map, all right? Okay, and then I introduce to you another note, because when we map any kind of objects on the geometry, we need a UV map, right? So I introduce to you another note over here, and we need to add it before the subdivide. Right click, and we're gonna add texture. So basically this node, it let you define the UV map for the geometry. Okay. And we're gonna switch this one to face. Okay. Okay, Just to make everything a little bit more interesting, we're going to turn on the rim light. Rim. And then you click on enable. Okay, this is before and this is after. It's basically adding a little bit of rim light to the detail between the brick over here. All right. Okay, now if you increase the number of depth over here, you're gonna see the number of points over here increasing. Okay, so the more number you have, the more details the extrusion of the brick is going to be. Okay, because before you're gonna see that the extrusion is not, if we are at the subdivide level 5 over here, it's not really following the brick over here. Right, it's just giving you some kind of extrusion, but it looks very weird. Okay, it looks mostly like a wave because when you zoom in into the subdivide over here, it doesn't have enough geometry. Okay, it doesn't have enough vertex to be able to simulate, okay, or extrude all of this detail. Okay, so we increase this one to 7. Go very slowly, okay, because otherwise you're going to freeze your computers. You're going to see that now the bricks, you see all details over here. It's actually following each of the crease on the brick over here is actually following each of the crease on the picture over here. Does that make sense, guys? Hiểu không nhỉ? Okay, I can increase this one to 8. Okay, and even more detail will be created. All right, and if I go into wireframe over here, this is the density of the mesh, and you see this is what we got from a displacement map. Okay, but with this set, displacement map is a very GPU and CPU intensive method to have realistic material. So I would recommend, if you when you have a complex scenes, just use the normal map instead of the displacement, because with displacement, every time you subdivide the geometry, is going to increase the number of geometries. All right, so you're gonna see that if I made a click over here, it's gonna tell me how many points or how many vertex is made up of this geometry. There's only 4 points. Okay, and over here I subdivide it by 8 times. It's gonna be 66,449 points. All right, so displacement that I'm showing you over here, but if you need like very high quality details, you're going to increase it. But when you have a complex scenes, you don't really see the objects from far away, don't use displacement map. Is that clear? Yeah? Okay, now that's displacement map. Now we're gonna do another material, another objects. We're gonna add in a box. Okay, and how do I render these objects, guys? How do I render? Come on. Render. What do I need to render this object now? Geometry. Yeah? Okay. Instead of setting up the geometry and everything, I will replace these objects, okay, to the chain over here. Okay, and it's starting to freeze because basically I subdivide too many times. And home on, and you're gonna see all these objects over here. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the material. For the subdivide now, I'm going to just keep it very low at 5. Alright, something like this, just to save me from crashing the program. Okay, and this is the cube objects. Alright, we can also use a substance material on this. Okay, if you go to any of this material on substance, okay, you have the brick already, so I'm not going to download the brick. But what if I download this material, download file? Okay, the nice thing about Substance Painter is natively support Substance Painter material, so you just drag and drop and it's display over here. And what you want to do next is you're going to create another PBR material for this one. Alright, and you drag and drop the top, okay, the chest material downloaded from Substance Painter to the PBR and go into the map. But instead of using all of this base color, specular, everything, you're going to just drag and drop the substance top into the slot over here. Okay, and boom, you have the material right away. Okay, and now I can replace this material to the geo, and let's see. Okay, so this is what we got. Ồ đúng nhỉ? So any material from substance. Okay, let's say you want Persians, wall ties. There, easy for you. You see the way I teach? You form a block, a cube, right? A donut. You make the characters, make it wax, and now you go up one level. You're going to make it wax inside Touch Designer. Right? That's just BMS 3. BMS 5. It's 2 semesters away, huh? Yeah? That's just midway of your education. But thank me later, you're gonna see this is the one of the most worthy costs. Okay, 60 million, right? Well paid. 80, well paid, right? Download. Okay, drag and drop this one to the material version Mosaic. All right. And then PBR. Yes, and you see the quality of Substance Painter over here. Okay. Can increase a little bit of light just to see it better. For see the quality of this. Alright, ổn không nhỉ? Yes or no? Okay. So next step, I'm going to show you how you can set up an environmental light. Okay, what is an environmental light? Huh? What is environmental light? World light, yes. Spherical, 360-degree photo of a place, and it gives you universal or world light for the objects. All right. So, just for the demo of this, we can go categories. You don't have the link, huh? Okay, we can go to Polygon. Or free HDR. Just type in free HDR. Polyhaven. Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you this link in the in Canvas now, so you can see it. Okay, save. Okay, you go to Polyhaven. You'll be able to download any of this HDR. You know about this website? Yes? Alright. So let's download this one and just keep it low, 1K only. Download, because we just need the light, eh? Doesn't need to. And this is important because in Substance Paint, in Dot Designer, you need to keep, when you have a very complex scene, you need to keep everything with optimize already the mesh as well as the texture, so that is very lightweight for your computer to run. Okay, because you're performing everything live. So you need to be able to optimize, okay? And me and Patrick gonna show you how to optimize later. And we're going to drag and drop this file into the scene over here, okay? And for this one, we need to add an ambient light in the comp. Release it, okay? And then drag and drop the top to the sorry, not ambient lights, environmental lights, all right? And then you drag and drop this to the environmental map, and it should give you the world lights into the material, and boom, okay? In half an hour, you have set up the material, okay? And also the lightings and the camera for the Tab Designer project. Ambient light, environmental lights added in. Get an HDRI from the HDRI Polyhaven, okay? And then set it up for your no, the cube, all right? This is what I want to emphasize. When you work with a cube like this, you have to use the texture soft over here, and you change it to face, so that it maps correctly the UV map to each of the face over here. Alright, otherwise you're gonna have all this stretching of texture over here, which look good, but this is not what we want. Alright. Face, all right. Now press the geometry, environment ways, delete the ambient lines, no ambient lines anymore, get an HDRI and drag and drop it to bright. So this too bright, just leave it down. Okay. Because it's down here, it's dark, right? Look good. Black summer. Okay, cool. Okay, about 10 o'clock already. So I think I need to explain Mixamo later in another lab. But for now, you know how to render objects with material in Substance, in Tab Designer. Okay, and next time I'm going to explain exportation from Blender, Mixamo, okay, and Decimate, which is basically optimizations of the geometry. Okay. One last thing, I think. Yes, one last thing. With the material Substance Painter over here, if you click on the material, you're gonna see that you can either output is with the on of the material like this, or you can output it with only one channel, either base, ambience, normal. And for example, I want to use the normal map of this chessboard to replace it. For this cube over here, I can do it. Alright, output normal, and then instead of using the map substance over here, I drag and drop the chess to the normal map bump. And then basically, yes, I need to separate all this map. Okay, by scalar only, and remove this one, and I have to copy each of them, and I can use this one as the base color. So I have the normal map of the chess over here with the base color of the Persian type. Okay, so you can do that way. Every time you break down a Substance Painter material, you need to copy it and set it to another maps over here. Alright, so ambient occlusions, and if I copy this one, Control C, Control V, and I'm gonna switch this one to roughness, for example. Put this one over here, roughness, and I move it around. It's gonna look different, look like this. And paste. And then specular. Alright. metallic. And I put this one in metallic over here. Yeah, so you see normal maps coming from the chest, but the rest is coming from the Persian type. Alright, so you can mix and match material in such designer as well. Doesn't matter because this is the free version. It should work. And it shows the colors here, right? Yeah? So it doesn't matter. Maybe leave this one. Four. Yes. Alright. Now, any last question before we go? Yes, what's the question? It's opening up when you subdivide. Over here doesn't it because Okay. Ổn không nhỉ? Yeah? So forget Blender for now. See me after the cloud. Okay, I have added class now. You cannot wait with you?
Yeah, I already applied the weighting one, but it doesn't change the color. It doesn't interact with the points.
Oh, I don't know.
How about any recommendation for render? What kind of
Maybe fine. Just go to class and render. Yeah. I have explained everything. You can use cloud rendering, you can use lab, okay? The thing is you don't listen and now you panic, okay? Okay, dismiss. Next class. Any question? Come back after 12. Okay?
After 12, I have class.
Or post on Facebook. Okay?
I wish I could cry. Bye. I have 2 days to cry. This 2 times. Oh, the what? Sao nói không làm xong rồi không? Chữ cắt vai. Không biết gì nữa. Được vai. Cái tên chữ vai chịu này. Cái chữ này tôi tên mùi. No, piano. Mùi đâu?
Wow, Harvard class doesn't show up. All the zombies stay at home, huh? Zombie day.
Đây là chỗ cũ tường này của em.
ngồi chỗ này đi.
Như nói trên này có chị hoạch xanh.
Chị béo.